Is there anybody who would like a copy of what we recite at the beginning or the end?
Good morning, everyone. We're really happy to be with you. First, I want to say Lama Michael's fine. He's on his way. Little confusion about the dates, but I think probably you, and certainly we, are expecting that he will be here. But we can begin as you have already begun, because as we sit quietly, that's the beginning. So a special welcome to anyone who's new today. We're really glad you're here exploring this path with us. My name is Sopa. This is Bill and Dora, and we're associate teachers here. And our head teacher, Lama Michael, will be arriving shortly. So we'll follow our same schedule that we have done for actually some decades at KCC, not so long in this building, which is very cozy this morning. And if you feel cold, feel free to get up, and there are some blankets behind the pew. So feel free, if you don't sit chilly, it's not a good idea for your body. Unless for you it is a good idea for your body. Who knows? I don't know what kind of practice you may already know. So what we do is we sit in what we call Shine Shamatha calm abiding for about 40-45 minutes with just a little bit of guidance. Then we have a tea break, and then please bring your Dharma questions and your Dharma thoughts to the Q&A the last 45 minutes. So we begin with refuge and bodhicitta prayer. So I want to just say something about that. I suspect you already know something about suffering, because we don't need refuge unless we understand something about suffering. And I suspect that because you're here. So either you've been coming for a long, long time, and perhaps you've had some experience with the Dharma, the Buddha, the Sangha actually being a refuge, or you're looking for a refuge. In a way, the truest refuge is within our own minds and hearts, our own goodness, our own Buddha nature, our own kindness, our own natural wish to end suffering. So a lot of the practices are simply finding that, getting in touch with that which is already here. Always here, always has been, always will be. It's the one thing we can never get rid of, thank goodness. So we begin with refuge in the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. The Buddha who realized that nature and taught it for 30-some years before he died. So that's the Buddha Shakyamuni, but there are many other ways to think of the Buddha, as I just said, your own Buddha nature. Or on a certain level, that goodness and pureness that permeates everything. We take refuge in the Dharma, that's the path, the practices. And we take refuge in the Sangha, those who have already realized the truth and live within it. Some of us have very close teachers who we have seen, or even you don't have a close teacher, you see figures like Khenpo Lodro Donyo or the Dalai Lama or Bokar Rinpoche, Kala Rinpoche, and they are manifesting something that we're drawn to. The Sangha is also the monastics who spend full time practicing the path. We also can do that as lay people, but they reduce their distractions. And we take refuge in this Sangha, the ones around you, those who have come here too. So we take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And then, since this is a Mahayana, Vajrayana center, we extend our vision, not just for ourselves. Due to interconnectedness anyway, everything we do affects others. So we acknowledge that with our bodhicitta prayer, which is that we are here doing this not only to end the suffering of ourselves and our close ones, but also all of those we label strangers who someone else labels beloved, and all of those we label enemy who someone else labels beloved. So we take refuge in bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings. So let's do that chant together. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering, establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. So, calm abiding. One of the main practices here is a crucial tool in every single lineage of Buddhism and even in other spiritual paths. So in our prayer we say, until the summit of enlightenment is reached. Well, we have to do a little bit of work to get there. Maybe a number of lifetimes. Maybe for you it'll be this lifetime. Who knows? So we have to first calm down. This is not easy, as you've already discovered in this world, which we're creating, by the way. So there's some very simple instructions. The problem is, if you're like me, we just don't do them enough. But here we are. doing our best with one another. So first, check in with the body. We're all still in bodies, and it's important to notice that. Just check in and relax. You can scan the body from top to bottom or from the bottom up. Just notice if there's any place where you hold tension. You can bring a nice breath in there, or you can imagine light coming there. And the tension simply dissolving, completely gone. Then, we can remember, times when our body and mind were more open and relaxed, like sitting on the bank of a river, very quiet, watching it flow by, nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nothing to plan. Nothing to remember. And whether the river of your mind and thoughts runs quickly or slowly, doesn't matter. The most useful instruction, it seems to be, let it flow. So just like we wouldn't try to grab one little ripple in the river and hold it and talk about it and agonize over it, because we couldn't grab it anyway. So just let those kind of efforts go. Just enjoy the flow. We don't have to accept or reject anything that rises in our mind. And we'll begin to notice that nothing stays. And that's fine. That's how it is. So it's helpful for some folks to find an anchor, because this can get very dreamy. And that's not so helpful sometimes. So the most common anchor is the breath. And you can notice the flow of the breath at the nostrils or at your belly. But come to that just as it has already been, quite natural. We're not manipulating it. You've been breathing all your life, mostly without thinking about it. So just continue that practice of breathing. And when the thoughts carry you away down the river, trying to hold on to some part of the water, then just come back to the anchor of the breath. And we just do this over and over. And whenever we remember, oh, I got lost in that thought, in that emotion, in that bodily sensation, I got lost there. That's okay. Just come back to the breath and rejoice each time that you see that even if it's only one time in the next 25, 30 minutes. Also, about every 7 to 10 minutes, I'll make a noise like this. And it will mean take a little break and stop trying to meditate. But feel free to move or adjust your posture whenever you need to. relax the mind and let go of the meditation. It can make it fresher when you come back. relax. this virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state. Thank you very much. It's always good to sit with a group. Much easier than at home alone, I find. Okay, so we'll take a tea break. And before that, we'll have some announcements. Coming up December 8th and 9th, which is a Friday and Saturday, I'll be leading a Conklin retreat here. It's a non-residential retreat, so you'll have a chance to go home and practice on your own Friday evening, and try and hold that practice as best you can, and then come back Saturday. So that's online, and you can register for it. And if you can't come for the whole retreat, but you can come for a day, just email me or see me at break and let me know so I can have a sense of who's doing that.
I just want to add that
yes,
if you haven't read Zopa's article in the last newsletter, you should. It's a very nice amplification on some of the things about the Conklin retreat and her past experience with it. It's a very nice article. Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, thanks. So the other thing that's coming up, two things. On December 2nd here at 11 a.m., Annie and all of you who are interested in helping with or learning about the children's program, we're going to have an organizing meeting from 11 to 12:30. And Mary Woods, if you'll raise your hand there, you could talk with her. You don't have to be a parent. You can just be someone who is interested in helping think about the children's program. We're planning to start that in January, hoping our basement is that we have a children's room and or two, and we're hoping to reinstate a toddler care program so that the 5 to 10-year-olds will be in a class, but the little ones will have some care. So it's coming together nicely, thanks to Mary and others who are helping. So you can talk to Mary or me, but particularly Mary about it. And then December 16th, we will have our annual Bodhisattva celebration, where we come and we share Bodhisattva stories, famous Bodhisattvas or common ordinary Bodhisattvas, anything that is good and kind that happened to you this year. You can also sing songs or and bring some yummy snacks. And we're not going to do it in the evening like we used to. We're trying something new, and we're going to do it in the afternoon. That's a Saturday, December 16th, 2 to 4:30 here. So again, questions, see our friend Mary Woods, who's always organizing. And also, if you want to help out with decorating, please see or email her. And I think there's a poster on the back bulletin board about that. So those are the things I know. There's probably more.
Yeah, there are one or two. For those who don't know, we have an over-the-top fundraiser going on. And Phil, do you have some news to share on that?
I have an update. I just want to let you know how we're doing and what the prospects are for turning on the heat here. We're keep holding that till last, by the way.
Yeah, you have to donate something for no heat.
I'm talking to you here, Oliver. We have a $50,000 challenge from our stalwarts, and we're creeping up on halfway toward the match. As soon as I have a pledge in my pocket here for $500, and when I put that in the box, we will be at $23,210 toward the $50,000 challenge. So well on our way. And for those of you who are wondering, couldn't they do this without me? The answer is no. We can't do it without you, the collective you. So there we stand. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. And also a reminder of the New Year's retreat, an opportunity to come for a couple of days and sit the day before New Year's Eve day, and also New Year's Day. Lama Michael will be leading Calm Abiding retreat, and that's, again, that's one of the few opportunities that we have where you can drop in on a retreat at any point. So it's a good opportunity. And for those who are interested in taking refuge, there will be an opportunity at 4 o'clock on New Year's Day. So that's one. And let's see, where's Salidra? Right there. Do we have any new people, Salidra?
We do. Yay. Thank you for asking.
Yes, and I have a feeling that there are new people here that I don't know about. So Toby and Tom, could you raise your hand so everybody can see you? There you are. Hi, Toby and Tom. And Gary and Joyce.
These are my friends, Gary and Joyce, and Gary was kind enough to bring his pickup in from Sandy and haul all the trash away from the site. So.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
And Amber.
Welcome. Send it back.
Oh, Amber. Is there anybody else that I didn't mention that's new? Okay, well, welcome.
I wanted to add one thing that I think is true about the over-the-top challenge. Tell me if I'm wrong, Phil. But if you're feeling like you can't necessarily make a special donation, another possibility, another thing that qualifies for the match is anybody who signs up for having a sustaining membership where you give monthly from your checking or credit card, and signs up to support KCC on a regular basis with a new pledge, or even if you expand your existing pledge, that counts towards the match. So just a reminder that that's actually how we function here, is to have those sustaining memberships. So I thought I would throw that in.
People have done that for a total of $1,125 in increased memberships.
Thanks to us all.
Okay,
And
we have
last
Ed.
but not least,
And not last, because there's others.
Sorry, we don't want to announce ourselves to death. I've heard that before. So in case people don't know, we have a young adult group here that meets the first Friday of every month. And the next meeting is this Friday, December 1st, from 7 to 9 here at KCC. And it will be a special meeting because Bill Spangle will be there for question and answer. So if you have any questions, come talk to me. My email is also on the website.
Thanks.
and one more thing.
Finally, continuing on the fundraising theme, the bookstore has a lot of new merchandise just in and also coming in the next week or two. You may not be aware of the fact that an increasing amount of our merchandise is donated, and so that 100% of the price of it stays here at KCC to keep the lights on and to help with the construction. So if you're going to buy some little gifts for people over the holidays, we have lots of stuff in there that's not out and out Buddhist that anybody would love. So think about buying it here and keeping the lights on here. Thank you.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is also Cleaning Sunday.
Oh,
For, but we can talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, and one other will be announced to death.
We
but
can't
this-
help ourselves.
This, we're doing a lot, thanks to you. This Thursday is Mind Training Day, right? November 30th. I'm looking over at Tim Campbell, who leads this with me. And so 7 p.m. here. If you've never come before, you're welcome. And please come back if you've been with us. We're studying the 8 verses of thought transformation, and we're all transforming somehow. Yeah. Okay. That's it.